Hi, I'm Natalia from Writer, and I want to take you through an audience segmentation agent that I built on the Writer platform. Let me set the context with a scenario that most performance marketers know well. Imagine you're launching a new product. Let's use the example of Breville's Barista ProPlus espresso machine. You need to segment your customer database to identify the right audiences for your paid media campaigns. Today, your workflow can look something like this. You start by extracting data from your CRM, purchase history, engagement metrics, product ownership. Then you move to analysis, calculating customer lifetime value, scoring product affinity, identifying behavioral patterns. From there, you're creating segment definitions, building personas, developing messaging strategies, and formatting everything for an ad platform upload. Realistically, this is a process and a workflow that can take a dedicated team weeks and possibly months to iterate through and refine. Here's the challenge. Launching products happens repeatedly, probably many times throughout the year for most retailer CPG companies. Different campaigns, different products, different segments. But more significantly, the workflows you build tend to be tightly coupled to your specific systems and current strategy. When you migrate CRMs or evolve your segmentation approach, you're often starting from scratch. The approach I'm going to show you with Writer Agent takes a different angle. Instead of documenting the procedural steps, you define the strategic outcome. You describe what success looks like. In this case, let's say 5 high-value customer segments with detailed personas and campaign-ready exports. And you ground that outcome in your existing business knowledge. And then the AI determines the optimal execution path and adapts automatically as your systems or strategy change. Let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to create a playbook. Think of this as an outcome definition rather than a workflow. I'm going to start in my instance of Writer, which is what you see here on my screen. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new playbook. Watch what happens when I define what I want to do and achieve in natural language. Analyze our Breville customer database and create targeted audience segments for our 2026 Barista ProPlus launch campaign. Identify 5 high-value segments based on purchase history, engagement patterns, product affinity, and customer lifetime value. For each segment, create a detailed persona profile with behavioral insights, messaging recommendations, and export campaign-ready audience lists formatted for Meta ads and Google Ads import. I'm going to give you access to 4 input files. First is our Breville customer segmentation framework. The second is their brand voice guidelines. Third, the current customer database. And fourth, the product catalog with affinity scoring. Then I'm going to turn this into a playbook. A playbook is simply a blueprint or a set of instructions that the Writer Agent can then use to go ahead and deliver the outcome that I specified. Notice that what I didn't do here is map out the exact steps or process that I wanted the Writer Agent to take. Instead, I described the business outcome I needed. This is a fundamentally different starting point. You're thinking as a strategist defining success, not as a process engineer documenting steps. You can see here in this playbook that there's a couple of input variables for the files that I specified. When I go ahead and run this agent, I'll be prompted to upload each of them. Customer database, product catalog, segmentation framework, and the brand voice guidelines. All of these input documents, by the way, have been synthetically generated for the purposes of this demo. And once they're all uploaded, I'll go ahead and run this playbook. And here's the powerful part. Before Writer even begins, you can see the workflow plan it's developed for itself, which was just shown there on the right-hand side. Here on the left, you can see Writer start to execute against that plan. Every step of the process that it defined for itself as it works towards the outcomes that I described. The great thing about this is that it's collaborative. I'd like to say it takes no code to another level. If at any point you think that the Writer agent needs to be course corrected or redirected in any way, you can intervene here and collaborate with the agent in real time to make sure that you get the outputs you want to achieve. Okay, the agent has completed its objectives. And I want to click into one of these segment profiles because this is where you'll see the strategic depth. The persona includes demographics, psychographics, not just age ranges, but inferred values, motivations, coffee passion level, technology adoption patterns, and actual behavioral data. And here's what makes this campaign ready. Messaging strategy recommendations. For this segment lead with these key messages. This should be your intended tone, sample email subject lines. The Writer agent created 5 complete persona profiles, not from generic templates, but by reasoning through the patterns in Breville's actual customer data filtered through their brand voice guidelines. It generated messaging strategies by analyzing which customers respond to which types of communication and made channel recommendations based on where these segments actually engage. And it formatted everything for immediate campaign activation. In a traditional workflow, all of that logic, the scoring formulas, the clustering algorithms, the formatting rules would need to be explicitly documented and coded. And when Breville's segmentation strategy evolved or they changed their CRM platforms, those hard-coded workflows would need to be rebuilt. With Writer, the outcome definition stays the same. Give me strategic segments for this campaign, ground it in our framework, ready for activation. But the execution path adapts. If Breville updates their segmentation framework, the playbook automatically incorporates the new criteria. If they migrate from HubSpot to Salesforce, the playbook adapts to the new data structure. The outcome is resilient and the process is adaptive. That's the core concept here with Writer Agent. Separate what you're trying to achieve from how it gets achieved. Focus your time on defining strategy and let AI handle the execution intelligence.